Chapter 5 Looking Back, Part 1. Over the next few days, Mosheng went on several outdoor shoots and didn't inquire about the interview anymore. She had already discussed with Lao Bai to change the assignment, so it should no longer be her concern. On this day, the shoot went smoothly, and Mosheng returned to the magazine office early. While washing her hands in the restroom, Ame and a few female colleagues approached her for gossip. Sheng, it looks like your interview with that elite man might not happen after all. Why? What happened? Tao Yijing didn't even get to meet him, she was rejected. It's really funny how confident she was at first, and now she's embarrassed. Ame's tone sounded a bit smug. Yes, I heard she called his agency, but his assistant answered, claiming that attorney he was sick. Sick? Mosheng was about to leave but stopped in her tracks upon hearing this. Is it true? Surely it's just an excuse. I saw him on a TV show yesterday. Usually, those shows are pre-recorded. Will Yichen really be sick? Mosheng felt restless as she sat in her office. At one moment, she mocked herself. Xiao Mosheng, why do you care about him now? It's not your turn anymore. Sheng, there's a phone call for you. Lao Bai handed her the phone. It seems you already received 2 calls earlier this morning. Yes, I'll take it. Mosheng picked up the phone. Hello, who's this? Are you Xiao Mosheng? A gentle male voice came from the other end. This is Xianghang. They arranged to meet at a cafe called the Silent Space in the eastern part of the city. After some casual greetings, Xianghang said, "It was quite hard to find you. Thankfully, Yichen mentioned once that you're a photographer at the magazine." Seeing Mosheng's puzzled expression, Xianghang smiled and said, "Why do you look so surprised that Yichen mentioned you? He might not say much, but with old Yuan, that middle-aged gossip man around, you can still find out some information." A waiter approached and handed them the menu. After ordering drinks, Xianghang got to the point. "You must be wondering why I asked to meet you." Indeed, Mosheng found it strange. While she knew Xianghang, he was just an acquaintance. They didn't have a deep relationship. For a long time, her impression of him was merely Yichen's roommate, and she couldn't even recall his name clearly. It wasn't until she went with their dorm mates for hotpot once, a gathering that required bringing a companion, and Xianghang was the only one left alone. Someone teased him, "Xianghang, even Yichen got conquered by someone. How much longer will you remain single?" Sighing, Xianghang had said, "It's easy for you to say that. Where can I find someone as tenacious and unwavering as Xiao Mosheng to conquer me?" Unfortunately, Yichen chimed in, "If you want her, I can give her to you, which will leave me in peace." Mosheng was completely innocent back then. Anything she said seemed to invite trouble. Those law school people, they all had sharp tongues. But she remembered Xianghang from then on. Seeing Mosheng lost in thought, Xianghang suddenly spoke. "Actually, I've always wondered why you became Yichen's girlfriend during university. You should know that many girls liked him at the time, and there were plenty of beautiful, smart, and outstanding girls around." Mosheng didn't know why he brought up the past all of a sudden, so she remained silent, letting him continue. "He looked nostalgic. One of our dorm entertainments was betting on which girl could conquer Yichen. One night, after the lights were turned off, we started arguing about it. Some bet on our department's beauty queen, others on the talented girl who participated in debate competitions with Yichen. I think I bet on a girl from the foreign language department." He chuckled, recalling their youthful recklessness. Yichen always had a 3 don'ts policy for such activities: don't support, don't care, and don't participate. He read his books and slept, ignoring our fuss. But that night, After we all placed our bets, he suddenly said, "I bet on Zhao Mo Sheng." Xiangheng looked at her and said, "That was the first time I heard your name." So, that's probably how the rumors started about her being his girlfriend. Yichen never mentioned it. You can imagine how curious we were about you. And when we finally met you, we were even more surprised. Yichen had always had a mature and calm demeanor that was beyond his age. In our minds, his girlfriend should have been someone mature and sensible. But you, Xiangheng said with a hint of implied meaning, completely exceeded our expectations. To be honest, I didn't have much hope for your relationship at first. But Yichen gradually turned into a normal 20-year-old boy. You could make him angry, and sometimes he would obey us and wash a whole dormitory's clothes just on a whim. Like on his birthday. Something like that could happen to Yichen. It's hard to believe. On his birthday, she couldn't find a satisfying gift no matter where she went, so she ended up exhausted, arriving at his dormitory building a little past 10 p.m. with nothing in her hands, just wishing him a happy birthday. Yichen asked sternly, "Where did you go today? What about the gift?" Of course, she couldn't produce anything. Yichen glared at her fiercely for a while before saying helplessly, "Forget it. Close your eyes." She closed her eyes, and he leaned down and kissed her. That was their first kiss. She still remembered how foolishly she said to him when she opened her eyes, "Yichen, it's not my birthday today." The coffee in the cup swayed slightly, and with a ding, she placed it back on the table. Why was this person bringing up so many past events? Please stop. Is there anything else you want to tell me? She interrupted him. Xiangheng stopped and looked at her with an indescribable expression. After a while, he shook his head and said gently, "Zhao Mo Sheng, you are really ruthless." Yes, she could be ruthless to anyone. Xiangheng didn't say anything more. He took out a piece of paper and pen, wrote down the name of a hospital and a ward number, and handed it to her. Mo Sheng took it, and on it was the name of a hospital and the ward number. What's this? With his lifestyle, it wouldn't be surprising if he died young. Not to mention a small gastric bleeding. Xiangheng's gentle voice turned cold. "I've given you the hospital's address. Whether you go or not is up to you. I don't know what happened between you, but..." Zhao Mo Sheng. His tone carried reproach. A person shouldn't be too selfish. After saying this, he settled the bill and left. Mo Sheng sat there, stunned by the news. The paper in her hand was crumpled tightly, her short nails pressed into her flesh, causing aching pain, but she didn't realize she should release it. Gastric bleeding, hospital, Yichen, was it because of her? Was it really because of her? The coffee had already turned cold. Mo Sheng pushed open the cafe door, and outside, the rain had started at some point. How could it rain now? Especially this persistent drizzle. She managed to hail a taxi easily, and the driver was overly talkative, bombarding her with questions once he knew her destination. "Miss, is your friend sick? Are you studying or working? Miss. Mo Sheng replied with vague yes and oh, her eyes fixed on the window. The driver's words passed by her ears, but none of them made any sense. The scenery outside flew by one after another, but she didn't know what she was seeing. There were no red lights all the way, and they arrived at the hospital so quickly. Finding Yichen's ward was also surprisingly easy. But when she stood in front of the door, her hand felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds, and she couldn't lift it to knock. But should she leave? Her feet also felt like they weighed 1,000 pounds, and she couldn't take a step back. For a moment, she felt as if this would go on forever, afraid to approach, unwilling to leave, so she would stand forever outside his door. But how could anything last forever? The inevitable always came. No matter how one avoided it, it would come. The door was open from the inside, and she didn't have time to dodge, so she faced that person directly. Yi Mei. Some people seemed destined to meet and for the reason always to be the same, like Yi Mei and her. Mosheng later pondered, how did this gentle and beautiful girl listen to Yi Chen introducing her as my younger sister? When she used to introduce herself boldly as Yi Chen's girlfriend, and Yi Chen didn't object, how much pain did Yi Mei feel at that moment? Ah, Yi Mei, it's been a long time. Mosheng, it's good to see you again. Yes, it's finally good. Are you here to visit Yi Chen? Yi Mei asked. He just fell asleep. If you have time, can you accompany me to his place to get some daily necessities for him? Mosheng hesitated for a moment and nodded, sure. Is he all right? He's fine. The doctor said as long as he rests more and takes care of his diet, he'll be fine. That's good, Mosheng said softly. They chatted on their way, but it was just about recent events. Yi Mei said, I've been meaning to find you, but my company suddenly sent me on an out-of-town assignment, and I was so busy that I couldn't find time. When I finally came back, Yi Chen fell ill. Sigh, now I finally understand the pain of a working woman. Mosheng said, I never expected you to become such a powerful woman. Isn't that what you are too? You used to be indifferent and randomly took photos with your camera, but who would have thought you'd become a photographer? Mosheng smiled, I'm still taking random photos now. Yi Mei laughed, if your boss heard you say that, he'd be furious. We're here. She stopped and took out her keys to open the door. Mosheng paused for a moment, then followed her inside. Yi Chen's home was on the 12th floor of a high-end residential area in the western part of the city. The apartment was spacious but looked empty. There wasn't a single unnecessary item. Only a few magazines left open on the coffee table gave the impression that someone lived there. I used to come here to hang out with everyone, but nowadays we rarely get together. Yi Mei tidied up while talking. She opened the fridge, shaking her head helplessly. As expected, there's nothing. He's probably the most incapable person at taking care of himself. Last time I came, I found him eating instant noodles. I couldn't take it anymore, so I dragged him to the supermarket, and unexpectedly, I bumped into you. That's always been the case with Yi Chen, Mosheng knew. He always had something more important than eating. With someone like that, you could only use the trick, if you don't eat, I won't eat, to deal with him. Oh, right, Yi Mei suddenly said, I'm getting married soon, did you know? My groom is my immediate superior. It's like a Cinderella story. Mosheng looked at her in surprise, you're getting married? Yes, I'm getting married. She nodded with a slightly sighing expression. Back then, I was young and naive when I said those things to you. Later, I realized that some things can't be fought for. As for Yi Chen, I gave up on him a long time ago. Why? Probably because I couldn't wait for him. He could wait for years in almost hopeless situations, but I couldn't. Yi Mei fell silent for a moment and continued, around 3 or 4 years ago, when Yi Chen won a big case, a few of us from his law firm went out to celebrate. He got drunk, and I sent him back. He vomited all over the place, and when I was helping him clean up, he suddenly hugged me and kept asking, why won't you come back? I'm ready to give up everything, why won't you come back? Yi Mei paused and sighed, if these reasons weren't enough for me to give up, come with me. She pulled Mosheng to the study, grabbed a random book, flipped to a certain page, and handed it to her, saying, I found this accidentally, not just in this book, but in others too. Mosheng stared blankly at the messy poem on the page, imagining the frustration and misery of the person who wrote those hasty words. She slammed the book shut. Mei was still talking, but Mosheng couldn't hear anything. In her mind, a clear, smiling voice of a young girl seemed to come from a distant time. Yichen, you don't even know my name, right? I'm Xiao Mosheng. Xiao is the Zhao from Zhao, Mo is the silent Mo, and Sheng is a musical instrument. My name has literary significance, you know. It comes from Su Zhimo's poem. Quietness is my farewell music, silent is Cambridge tonight. Chapter 5, Looking Back, Part 2. In my childhood, Yichen's mother often held me and said that if she had a daughter, it would be great, and my mother would say we should exchange our children. Yichen was smart and sensible since he was young. My mother seemed to like him even more than me. Yi Mei recalled some past events on the way back to the hospital. I still vividly remember Aunt's appearance, but how did his parents die? Mosheng interrupted. Yi Mei shook her head. I'm not sure. I was only 9 years old at that time. It was probably an accident. Uncle fell from the 4th floor, and Aunt's health wasn't good either. She couldn't bear the sorrow and passed away not long after. I overheard my mother mentioning that after Aunt's death, they found the medicine in the drawer, the medicine she should have taken, all untouched. It could be considered a form of suicide. Suicide. Mosheng was stunned. Yichen was only 10 years old at that time. How could she be so heartless? Yi Mei nodded, and probably loved Uncle very much. She seemed lost in thought and continued, actually, Yichen is a lot like Aunt. As they were talking, they reached the hospital, and they ran into a nurse who knew Yi Mei in the corridor. The nurse kindly said, your boyfriend just finished receiving an 4 drip and fell asleep again. Yi Mei thanked the nurse and smiled as she explained, he's my brother. Arriving at the door, Yi Mei suddenly handed everything in her hand to Mosheng and said, you take these in. I won't go in. Though there weren't many things, Mosheng felt like the weight on her hands was unbearable. Mosheng, Yi Mei said softly, I haven't lost to you, I've lost to him. Mosheng watched her walk away without saying a word to stop her. The door wasn't locked, and it opened with a push. It was a double room, and one bed was empty. Yichen's bed was by the window. The sound of the door opening didn't wake him up. He was still asleep, with an 4 drip hanging, lying on the bed. Mosheng felt as if an invisible thread had wrapped around her heart, tightening inch by inch as she approached him step by step. He lay on the bed, his face pale and thin. Even in his sleep, he frowned. After their reunion, she hadn't had a good look at his face. Now, she finally had the chance. Her fingers unconsciously touched his furrowed brows, then brushed over his eyelashes. She imagined that if he were awake, those eyes would be wise and indifferent, sometimes even carrying a hint of mockery. Finally, her fingers rested on his slightly pale lips. It was said that those with such lips were often heartless. Yichen, why aren't you? Don't you understand that we can never go back to the past? 7 years have changed everything. Then, before she realized what she was doing, her lips replaced her fingers. Her lips were still cold from outside, while his were unexpectedly warm. However, this warmth made her heart ache suddenly, and tears streamed down uncontrollably. Until her wrist was firmly grabbed by someone. Yichen. Was he awake? Mosheng's mind went blank, her eyes blurred by tears, unable to see his face clearly, but she could hear his angry voice. What are you doing? Yichen gritted his teeth. Zhao Mosheng, what do you mean by this? She stammered, and all her thoughts vanished. For a moment, all she could do was stare at his blurred face in confusion. The force gripping her wrist tightened as if he wanted to crush it. She wanted to hold back her tears, but they flowed uncontrollably, faster and faster. How could this happen? She clearly heard something solid in her heart breaking. The sound of that break made her feel frightened and panicked. And Yichen's forceful and angry demeanor made her timid. She didn't know what she was doing. Wasn't she supposed to completely cut him out of her life along with the past? Then what had she just done? She was completely lost. Run away. The thought emerged, immediately taking control of her actions. She didn't know where she summoned such strength, but she suddenly broke free from his grasp and ran towards the door. Xiao Mo Xing, dare you leave? Yichen shouted. Damn! Yichen watched her open the door and violently yank the foredrip from his left hand. He tried to get off the bed to stop her, but being still in recovery and lying in bed for so long, his hurried steps made him stumble and fall clumsily beside the bed. Mo Xing naturally knew nothing about this. She followed a crowd of people into the elevator, and the people inside glanced at her before lowering their heads, lost in their own thoughts. In this hospital, where partings and farewells happened every day, one or two tearful people were nothing unusual. When she stepped out of the enclosed elevator, the cacophony of the lobby filled her ears, and Mo Xing suddenly didn't know where to go. Where could she go? Didn't she know this already? In this vast world, there wasn't a place where she could escape Yichen.